So the term investable engine implies large ROI. Why else would you be investing to create an engine that's going to produce something incredible? If you had to articulate what is the potential outcome, the promise of investing in a contact center, if you could paint that picture for us, what would you say?
I think it's across two or three items. The first one is in customer retention. I think everybody's competing for the mind share and the share of wallet of their customers. And if you're working in an environment where other people sell your products and they possibly even do it in the same channel, beating them with great service and great capability is going to help win for you. Now, you could have product failures, you could have quality issues, you could have mistakes made. But at the end of the day, what the customer is going to remember is probably not the cable that they bought from you, but they're going to remember the experience they had when you shipped them the wrong one, or they ordered the wrong one and then you were able to get them the right one. And we've seen this in multiple e-commerce environments where the customer service agents are empowered and emboldened to keep the customer. And at all costs, one customer, when you have a million customers, it's a very small cost at the end of the day. And so that's kind of thing one. Thing two is, what are the new revenue opportunities and the stickiness of the customer? Is it a one-time event? Am I going online to the auto parts store to buy a battery? Or am I going online to the auto parts store because I have 3 cars and I need to buy things all the time? And I'd like to think about working with someone who understands me or my pets. For example, people will understand my pets' names and understand what size they are and what kind of sweaters they might like. And they might be able to even show empathy when my pet is sick or when my pet passes away. And I think those are the kinds of experiences that move you from the generic environment to the one where there is specialization. And then I think the third thing is around what the breadth of product and let's call it upsell cross opportunities. What more can your customers experience from you, and how are you going to profit from that? That customer relationship, once it's acquired, is an incredible potential opportunity. How do you take advantage of that? And I think that this is a very big channel for you to do that in a world where you have a lot of competition.
Just last month, Forrester was cited at one of the reports saying that on average, 77% of revenue comes from your client base. Yet we chase new logo development as organizations all the time. And we have to, obviously, there's no argument about that. But when you sit back and you think about, okay, this year's revenue, 77% is going to be coming from the people we already have. It changes the beacon of where you're headed and where you're focusing your time and your energy. And one of the things of all the things you said there, which was amazing, is you used 2 incredible words when you talked about the agent, the front line with the customer. You said empower and embolden. But in a world of, I'm looking at this as a cost center, I'm looking at dialing back. Like I'm checking out KPIs like average handle time, and I'm trying to squeeze it down. And that's metric from the board down. So it drives our thinking. But what you're saying is exactly opposite of that. It's what it feels like.
Let's dig into average handle time for a second. That to me is a metric to dispatch your customer and to get the customer that loves you and has called you for attention to get them off the phone as soon as possible so you can move on to the next one. And I think a better metric, a much better metric would be single call resolution. And would I satisfy the customer? Who cares how long it takes? If it takes 4 hours and it takes 3 different interactions with supervisors or product managers or something else to resolve my issue, calling FedEx on the phone or whatever the case is to make sure that the product gets there, why wouldn't I incentivize and reward people for saying, no, I'm not going to take my break. There's no red light blinking on my phone to take the next call. I'm going to press screen when this customer is satisfied, and they're going to fill out a survey at the end that says they're satisfied, which is going to yield our NPS going up and all this other stuff. But it's a satisfied customer rather than one that the operational people have dispatched so that they can say, I handled 17 calls this hour.